Hello everyone, I'm the old guy and welcome to my Let's Play of Port Royale 2. This is episode 1 and it's going to be a tutorial series. We are going to play the tutorial scenarios in this Let's Play. I'm really excited to play Port Royale 2. It's been in my GOG library for probably about 10 years and I've never played it. I played Port Royale 3 and 4 and I think they're great games. I love them. So I'm really excited, and I hear Port Royale 2 is better than both of those games. So I'm really excited to get going. Let's take a look at the menu we have available here. Free mode, we are going to play that once we are done the tutorials. The scenarios here are tutorial missions that we're going to be doing. We can load our game. Let's take a look at the options here. We got graphics at the top. Everything is set to high. It's a pretty old game, so the graphics are quite nice though. I really like them. Sound here. I have turned the music down here. The music that you hear is from the YouTube library. It is free to use on videos and I won't get copyright strike. So I apologize for taking the music out. The music is great though. And I've just turned up the speech here. We have the gameplay. Displays tooltips, shows videos, constant ship info displayed, pause the game during editing of trade routes. I don't like the sound of that. We're going to click on that. And the scroll bar at the edge of the map. I like that. Difficulty level is going to be normal. And we're just going to keep this logo for now. We will fix all this stuff up when we start playing the real game. And the keyboard shortcuts here. I'm a mouse clicker, so I probably won't be using a lot of these. The interesting one here is the fast forward to spacebar. So I'm probably going to be clicking and hitting the spacebar for most of this playthrough. Let's go back. And let's take a look at the scenarios. Well, we have the credits here. That just shows who's made the game and quit the game. So let's take a look at scenarios here. And let's pick the general information scenario to start with. Introductory scenario. In Port Royale 2, your objective is to rise from being a humble trader to becoming an influential businessman. To help you achieve the status you seek, you can transport goods as well as trade. Build and engage in politics and piracy. The introduction scenario will teach you the basics of how to play the game. This scenario, like all the others, involves several different objectives. This sounds great as a starting point. Let's do this. Now it's going to want us to create a name, so we're going to type in my normal handle here. There we go. We cannot select the town it is grayed out here, so we are going to be starting at Cartagena. Accuracy here, we can pick different things. Trading experience, you receive a discount of 5% for all goods bought if you are doing the trading yourself. Accuracy, your ship inflicts 5% more damage in sea battles if you command the battle yourself. Charisma, successful battles will boost your reputation more quickly with 5%. And swordsmanship, in duels you receive a bonus of 5% for the damage you inflict on your opponent. Since this is probably the beginning scenario, I'm going to pick trading experience, and we are stuck on this scenario. Starting capital is defined by the scenario, so this stays the same. Let's start this here.
Welcome to Port Royale 2. It is the year 1570. And we find ourselves in the Caribbean. Your objective is to rise from being a humble trader to become an influential businessman. To help you achieve the status you seek, you can transport goods as well as trade, build and engage in politics and piracy. The introductory scenario will teach you the basics of how to play the game. As with the other scenarios, this involves several different objectives. You must achieve all of your objectives to successfully complete the scenario. You can now close this window using the close button and refer to the event window in the bottom left of your screen.
Alright, so we have a scenario objective. Follow the instructions in the event window, and the event window is right here. So let's click on this. We are in the governor town of Cartagena in the southern Caribbean. You can enter the various buildings in the town and perform various actions. More about this later on. First, look at the top of the screen. You can see a range of buttons and displays. Now click on the button with the clock to the very left of the screen. So this is the town of Cartagena here, and there's various buildings we can see. We can also scroll up and down here with our mouse middle button. And we can see the map over here, and we can click and see the various buildings. We have a blue building at the top here. This is our warehouse and the residence. So you can see everything that we have. And there's the harbor and the buildings. But the mission wants us to click on the clock up here. This is the Chronicle. It contains a record of all events and occurrences in the Caribbean, rather like a daily newspaper. There are some buttons to the right of the Chronicle window. You can use these to display information about the Caribbean. However, this is not important for the moment. Now close the Chronicle by clicking on the button marked X. So the Chronicle here has our information. It shows we try our luck in the town of Cartagena, the starting of the game, and the ship's boy Normantis buys a permit to construct buildings in Cartagena. So that's the start, and here is the X. We also have events here, nations, list of known pirates, list of towns, population statistics, town statistics, and goods statistics. So let's just close this. We'll get to these probably later on in the tutorial. At the top of the screen, beside the date, is a log button, and next to it, your cache. The log keeps you up to date with any information concerning your success and possessions. In addition, all the messages and missions that you have received are saved here. Open the log. So here is the date and time, here is the log button, and here is our cache. Let's open the log. As you can see, the log immediately displays all messages that you have received so far. At the moment, the log only displays the instructions for this scenario. There are more buttons to the right of the log window. Click on the third button. So here's the log window, and you can see that it is written down all the information that we have received here. And we have the close button, we have the messages button, and it wants us to click on the third button here, missions. This displays the tasks and missions that you have received. At the moment, only the scenario objective is displayed. Using the two buttons at the very top of the mission window, you can switch between current and completed missions. Now close the log. You can also do this simply by right-clicking. So here is the objective. Read the following hints in the event window, which we are doing. And here are the two buttons. We have current missions and we have completed missions. We have not completed any missions so far, so this is empty. We have your businesses here, balances and loans, production problems in towns, successes, trade routes, and map pieces. There is a lot of information in these windows. This is looking very exciting to me. Let's close this, or let's right-click over here. Later on in the game, you can accept numerous missions in order to achieve fame and fortune. First, let's take a look at the town. As you can see from the display at the top center of your screen, we are in Cartagena. The town has roughly 2,000 inhabitants. Click on the button showing the name of the town. So up here is the name of the town, and you can see that it has almost 2,000 inhabitants. And it also has the reputation here. So let's click on this. This opens a window that displays information about the town. Cartagena is a governor town and belongs to Spain. You can also see the status of the town and the goods that can be produced there. Now enter a building. To do this, close the town information window. So here's a town information window, and it's owned by Spain, the flag, and it's a Spanish governor town. The boom is going up, no events. Here is the population, in which there are 390 soldiers, and there are 5 harbor cannons. We have one warehouse in town, no businesses, and no residential buildings. It is friendly with Spain, and here are the items that it produces. So let's close this window. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move around the town view. Now take a look at the town center within the town walls. It contains buildings such as the docks, the church, and the governor's palace. Click once on any of these buildings. So you can use the arrow keys, but you can also hold the center mouse button down and move the map as well. So you can see that there are quite a few things here, and of course you can click on the map here to do it. And here is our warehouse, and here's the center of town within the town wall. Here's the church, the governor's palace, an inn, docks, shipyards, market stalls, town center, master builder. So we have everything that we need here. Let's click on any of the buildings. Let's click on the church here. The display on the bottom center of your screen changes when you click on a building. Depending on the type of building, you now receive information or you can do certain things. There are buttons to the right of the building display. To leave the building, click on the button marked X. So we are in the church. Come in, my son. Will you not sit yourself down and pray? Here is the close button. We are on the pray button now. There is also a bless button. Shipsborne or Mantis. Choose which convoy should be blessed. The blessing will give all your sailors the highest possible morale. All your sailors already have the highest possible morale here. So that's blessing. Very cool. And we can donate. Our donation coffers are filled to the brim. Drop by again in a few weeks' time. So that's what we can do in the church. Pray, bless, and donate. Let's close this. The buildings in which you can perform various actions are always located within the town walls. Your warehouse is an exception, and there will be more about this in the next scenario. Now leave the buildings and use the arrow keys to display the harbor and the convoy named Santa Maria. Click on it. So inside here, we can click on any of these buildings. Let's click on here. Governor Abraham Garcia, Shipsborne or Mantis, you're new here, aren't you? But I have already heard tell of you, and your good name precedes you. You should pay me a visit now and then. There is always some work to be done. So we can get jobs here, it looks like. Treasurer. My dear Shipsborne or Mantis, perhaps I can help you with a loan so you can assist us in developing this town. What amount do you have in mind? So we can get loans here. Very cool looking guy there. And a general here. Shipsborne or Mantis, the military presence in this town is excellent and the harbor is sufficiently secure. You want to give me some gold to procure more harbor cannons. One cannon costs 50,000 gold. So we can arm our harbors here. So in this window we can do governor, treasurer, and general. We can get missions, take out loans, and guard our harbor. Let's click on the inn here. There is a one-armed pirate here. Would you like to chance a little card game with me? Then choose your stake. I'll match it and the winner takes all. So we can do some gambling here, and we have the rules and gambling, and that's about the only thing we can do in the inn here. We won't do the gambling at the moment. Let's take a look at the docks. Here is all the trade goods that we have available. I'm sure that they will go over this in the mission. We have the shipyard here where we can buy ships. We have buy ships, sell ships, convoy, rename convoy, and repair ships. Market stalls. We have the feast organizer here. Greetings, Shipsborne or Mantis. Shall I arrange a feast for you in our town? It will improve prosperity in this town for a time and will enhance your reputation in my nation. The feast shall be held no later than the 21st of June, 1570. How lavish should the feast be? And then we can pick modest, a medium-sized feast, and a lavish feast. And looks like we need goods here. So it takes 30 goods, 20 goods, and 10 goods to do that. We're not going to accept any of this. We're just taking a look around. And we have the market stall, town center. Town center is the same as clicking up here. And the master builder here, we can build some stuff. I'm sure that the tutorial will run us through that. So it wants us to click on our convoy named Santa Maria here. As you can see, information on your convoy now appears in the bottom center of your screen. The convoy has already loaded goods, 10 barrels of wheat and 15 barrels of corn. There are several buttons to the right of the convoy display. Click on the second button, the one with the ship icon. So here is the information convoy display. Here is the name of the convoy. It is harbored in Cartagena. It has speed of 0 since it's not moving. It has 0 cannons. It has 0 crew on board. Here is the health of the convoy. And here is the cargo capacity. And here is the morale and the captain's rank. And this is our flag that we picked. Here it has 10 wheat and we have 15 corn in the hold. Over here is the ship's list, overview and costs, trade routes, and attack mode. We'll probably go through all of this as the scenario proceeds. But right now it wants us to take on the second button, the one with the ship. This displays the number of ships in the convoy. A convoy can have up to 10 ships led by a captain. Now let's send the convoy to another town. Click on the button with the arrow in the top right of your screen to leave the town and display the sea chart. So that is up here. Leave the town. Let's click on this. The sea chart now appears. In the center of your screen, you will see the town of Cartagena. Right here. You can use the arrow buttons to shift the area of the map that is displayed and view the entire game world. Now look for the town of Port Royal on an island to the north and right click on the town with your convoy selected. So we can also use the right mouse button or the center mouse button to move the map as well, which I like doing better than using the arrow keys. And the map is very detailed. Here is Port Royal where they want us to go. I just want to take a look around here and get an idea. Oh, it looks amazing. I really like the look of it. And down here is where our known harbors are. We can also click on the map to move it around. But it wants us to go to Port Royal. We have our convoy selected. Let's right click. And now you can see that it is going there. A route is plotted and your convoy sets off. By right-clicking on Port Royal, you have selected it as your convoy's destination. If the convoy is taking too long to reach the town, you can simply fast forward the game by pressing the spacebar default settings. So let's press the spacebar to speed it up. And you can see here is our boat, there's our flag, and we have one ship in it.
You have now learned some of the basic controls and know how to send a convoy from one town to another. This is very important because, at first, you will make your living by transporting and trading goods between the towns. In the second part of this scenario, you will buy a ship and add it to your existing convoy. Here's another tip. You can press F1 at any time during the game to display a help page explaining the keyboard and mouse configuration.
Okay, we completed that mission and we have a new scenario objective. Your convoy with 2 ships must reach the harbor of the town of Cartagena. We only have 1 ship, so it looks like we have to buy another ship. So let's close this and continue the mission. Since your convoy has arrived in Port Royal, you may now enter the town. Just click on the town symbol with the small houses. So here's Port Royal, and there's the small houses, and it highlights when we put our mouse over it. So let's click on it. You now see the familiar town view again, but this time it's of Port Royal. You can move through any town in which you have convoys or buildings. Look for the shipyard in the harbor and click on it, because we want to buy a new ship. So we're looking for the shipyard, which is right here. So let's click on it, and you can see that it has the same buildings as the other town did, Cartagena. So let's click on the shipyard. The shipyard is now displayed in the selection window where the convoy was just displayed. Have a look around the shipyard by clicking on the buttons to the right of the shipyard display. Then return to the display by ship and have a look at the ships that are available. Buy any ship you want. So here are the buttons. We have buy ship, which we are on, and we can cycle through the ships here. And here are the stats for each ship again. Speed, cannons, crew, capacity, maintenance cost, stability, price, draft, how many masts, and the agility. We can sell ships. We do not have any free ships in the harbor because they are in a convoy. And change the name. We can change the name of Santa Maria. We're going to keep that as the same. And we can repair ships. We do not have any damaged ships in the harbor. So let's go to the buy ships like it says and buy any ship we want. We cannot afford the galleon here. It's grayed out. So let's buy the sloop. Your new ship is in the harbor. Your basic crew is already on board. Congratulations, you have bought your first ship. The ship will be delivered to the town's harbor. Now leave the shipyard by clicking on the water in the harbor. The selection window now displays the individual ships in the harbor. Click on your new ship. So let's click on it. And we see the individual ships in the harbor. We have our convoy, the Santa Maria, and we have our new ship, the sloop here. Let's click on it. This displays the ship's data, which you already saw in the shipyard. Before you can do anything with an individual ship, you must add it to a convoy. To do this, select the convoy again. So here's the information for our sloop, the speed, cannons, crew, max tonnage, and the maintenance costs. Here is our ship. It has 100% health with no cannons and crew on it. And we have the bars here, which only the ship's list is able to be selected. So let's select the ship like the mission asks us to do. You now want to tell your convoy to interact with the harbor. Right-click on the harbor. So let's right-click in the harbor here. A transfer window opens in which you can add individual ships to the convoy. To do this, click on the single ship on the left and drag it to the convoy so that the convoy consists of 2 ships. Then close the transfer window again using the X button on the right. So here is the sloop. Let's drag it over to the Santa Maria. Our convoy now has 2 ships in it, and let's close this window. You now have a convoy with 2 ships in the harbor of Port Royal. You can click on the ships in the convoy ship list to find details about the ships. Now send the convoy back to your hometown of Cartagena. To do this, go to the sea chart by clicking on the button with the arrow in the extreme top right of your screen. So once again, here it is. Let's click on that. Now find the town of Cartagena in the south and send your convoy there by right-clicking on the town. This scenario will end as soon as the convoy arrives in your town. So it's down to the south of us here. Here is Cartagena. We are going to right-click on that. You can see the path has been made, and we're going to hold the space bar to speed the time up and watch our town. And you can see here is our convoy. There is our flag, and we now have 2 ships in it.
Congratulations! You have successfully completed your first scenario. You now know how to select convoys and send them to other towns. You have also learned how to enter buildings in a town to perform various actions, such as buying a ship, The next section is about making money by trading profitably.
All right, let's close this. And that's going to be an episode for today. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.